Good evening, everyone. There's a truth that many of us avoid, a truth that is both liberating and daunting. No one is coming to save you. You are the architect of your own destiny. You hold the key to unlocking the life you've always dreamed of, but it's not just about waiting for the right moment or someone to change things for you. It's about you taking full responsibility for your life, your health, and your future. Let's talk about what this truly means. 1. The power of your mind. The mind is not just a passive observer of your world, it is an active participant in creating it. Every thought you have shapes the reality you experience. If you continue to believe that you are at the mercy of circumstances or people, you will remain trapped in a cycle of helplessness. But when you begin to realize that your thoughts influence your emotions, your behaviors, and ultimately your reality, you unlock the power to change. Your mind can either be your greatest ally or your most formidable adversary. The choice is yours. 2. Breaking free from victimhood. So many people live their lives under the assumption that someone else holds the power over their happiness. Whether it's your upbringing, your boss, your partner, or society, these are just external conditions. The victim mindset keeps you stuck in the past. You must take full ownership of your story. Yes, you may have been shaped by your past, but you are not bound by it. You are the creator of your present and future. The moment you take responsibility for where you are, you free yourself from the chains of limitation. 3. The science of transformation. Your brain has an incredible ability to change and adapt. Every single thought you think creates a neurochemical reaction in your body. These thoughts trigger patterns that can either reinforce old, limiting beliefs or help you create new ones. The act of thinking differently consistently can literally rewire your brain. The transformation is not just theoretical, it is scientific. As you begin to practice new thoughts, your brain begins to form new neural pathways, and your body follows suit. This is not magic, it's science. 4. You are the creator of your own energy. Energy is the force that fuels your life. How you feel, how you think, and how you behave all generate energy, creates your experience. The energy you put into the world is the energy you receive. If you live in a state of fear, anger, or sadness, your body becomes a magnet for more of the same. But if you can elevate your energy to a state of gratitude, joy, and possibility, you will begin to attract new opportunities and experiences. The world is a mirror. What you project is what you receive. 5. Letting go of control. We are conditioned to believe that we must control everything around us. True freedom comes when we release the need to control the uncontrollable. You cannot control the actions of others, the future, or external events. What you can control is how you respond. You can choose your mindset, your emotions, and your actions. When you stop trying to control everything and allow yourself to flow with life, you create space for new opportunities to unfold. 6. Taking bold action. Transformation requires more than just thinking differently. It requires action. But not just any action, bold, aligned action. It is not enough to dream of a better life. You must take the first step toward it, even if it's uncomfortable. Every small action, no matter how insignificant it may seem, moves you closer to your goal. Your future is built one choice at a time, and the most important choice you can make is to believe in yourself. Trust that your actions will lead you to where you are meant to be, even if you don't have all the answers right now. So let me leave you with this. No one is coming to save you. It's all on you. Your thoughts, your energy, and your actions will determine the life you create. Embrace your power. Own your story. If you've spent years thinking a certain way, it's going to take time and effort to reprogram your brain. This is where the science of neuroplasticity comes in. Your brain has the incredible ability to form new neural connections throughout your entire life, meaning that you can literally reshape your brain by changing the way you think. Every time you catch yourself thinking a limiting thought and replace it with an empowering one, you are rewiring your brain. Over time, these new patterns become automatic, and your reality begins to shift. But here's the secret. As you begin to change your thoughts, your reality may not immediately reflect these changes. This is one of the biggest obstacles people face. Expecting instant results. Your thoughts are powerful, but they require consistent application. Just as it takes time for a seed to grow into a tree, it takes time for your thoughts to reshape your reality. However, as long as you persist and maintain focus, the results will come. You will start to notice that opportunities seem to show up more often. that people begin to treat you differently, and that you are able to make decisions that align with your true desires rather than your fears.
Mhm.
In the end, the key to mastering the power of your mind is taking full responsibility for the thoughts you think. Recognize that your thoughts are not just random occurrences, they are powerful, intentional forces that create the reality you experience. When you begin to harness this power and use it to your advantage, you start to realize that no one else is in control of your life but you. No one else can think your thoughts, and no one else can choose your beliefs. You are the creator of your reality, and it all begins with the thoughts you choose to think. When you stop seeing yourself as a victim, you begin to reclaim your power. It's a fundamental shift that changes everything. For most of us, it's easy to slip into the role of the victim. Life becomes a series of unfortunate events, challenges that we have no control over, and situations that happen to us rather than because of us. But the moment you shift from being a victim to taking full responsibility for your life, you begin to step into your power. This does not mean that you are to blame for everything that has happened to you, especially things beyond your control. But it does mean that you take control over how you respond to those events and how you choose to move forward. Victimhood is a mindset. It is a belief that someone or something outside of you is in charge of your happiness, your success, or your well-being. It can manifest in many ways. Blaming your upbringing, your job, your circumstances, or even other people for the way your life is turning out. When you live in this mindset, you remain stuck in the past. Your story becomes about all the things that happened to you rather than what you are capable of doing now to change your life. But this victim mindset is disempowering. It keeps you small and prevents you from recognizing the incredible strength you hold within you to transform your life, regardless of the circumstances. The first step in breaking free from this mindset is to realize that your circumstances do not define you. Yes, we all go through hardship. We all face challenges. But those experiences are not who you are. They are events that happen. And most importantly, those events are not permanent. You are not stuck in one chapter of your life forever. Once you understand that you have the power to choose how you respond, you shift from being a victim to being a creator of your reality. You become empowered to choose how to react, to take the necessary steps toward healing, growth, and transformation. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that has gone wrong in your life. It simply means acknowledging that the power to change your future lies within you. This is the science of transformation, the understanding that by changing your thoughts, you change your brain, and in turn, you change your life. The transformation is real, it is possible, and it is happening all the time, not in some distant future, but right now, as you make the decision to consciously create new neural pathways and new ways of thinking, feeling, and being. You are the creator of your own energy. This might sound like a bold claim, but when you truly understand the power of your energy, you realize how fundamental it is in shaping the life you experience. Everything in the universe, including you, is made up of energy. We are surrounded by energy, both visible and invisible. Every thought, emotion, and action emits energy that interacts with the energy around you, creating the reality you experience. Understanding that you are the creator of your energy gives you the ultimate power to influence your life. Energy is not a concept locked away in physics textbooks. It is deeply personal and profoundly real. It's what you feel when you walk into a room, whether the energy is heavy or light, positive or negative. It's what you sense from people, their vibe, their attitude, their emotions. What many people fail to realize is that they are constantly radiating energy, and this energy is a reflection of their thoughts, emotions, and internal state of being. In other words, the energy you put out into the world is directly tied to your inner world. Consider this: when you are in a state of fear, anxiety, or negativity, the energy you radiate is dense and repellent. It attracts situations, people, and outcomes that match that low vibration. You may find yourself in constant conflict, experiencing resistance, or attracting circumstances that reinforce the very thing you are trying to avoid. This is because like energy attracts like energy. The more negative energy you put out, the more negative energy you will receive in return. On the other hand, when you elevate your energy, when you operate from a place of gratitude, joy, excitement, and love, You change the very fabric of your reality. Positive energy attracts positive experiences. When you are aligned with your higher self, when you are in harmony with your true potential, the energy you emit becomes magnetic. It draws people, opportunities, and experiences that match the vibration of your higher state. This is the law of attraction in action, and it works not because of some mystical force, but because energy is always in motion, always seeking to match frequencies. The key to mastering this power is to become aware of your energy and take conscious control of it. Your energy is not static. It fluctuates based on your thoughts, your emotions, and your focus. Have you ever noticed how you feel when you wake up in the morning? If you wake up feeling grateful, excited, or positive, you'll notice that the day tends to unfold in a much more enjoyable way. Opportunities seem to present themselves, people are kind, and everything flows effortlessly. But if you wake up feeling anxious, stressed, or negative, the day feels heavy. Things don't go as smoothly, and you feel disconnected or frustrated. This is because your energy is setting the tone for the entire day. How you feel in the morning, whether you are focused on the positive or negative, has a profound effect on the energy you project throughout the day. When you focus on positive emotions and keep your energy high, you are essentially priming yourself for success. You are creating an energetic field that is open to receiving positive experiences. This doesn't mean that challenges won't arise, but when your energy is aligned with positivity, you will navigate those challenges with greater ease and resilience. One of the most powerful ways to shift your energy is through intentional focus. The energy you create begins with your thoughts, but your emotions are the force that powers that energy. If you focus on what you want rather than what you don't want, you begin to shift the vibration of your energy. For example, if you focus on gratitude, feeling truly thankful for the things you already have, your energy starts to rise. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, from fear to love. And as you make gratitude a consistent practice, you'll begin to notice that your external reality reflects this shift. But energy isn't just about what you feel. It's also about what you project. Have you ever met someone who exudes positive energy? They light up a room, make everyone feel at ease, and seem to attract opportunities effortlessly. This person has mastered their own energy. They understand that the energy they project has the power to influence the people around them and the situations they encounter. When you carry yourself with confidence, positivity, and openness, you are not only raising your own energy, but also uplifting the energy of everyone around you. The ability to manage your energy is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice. When you begin to consciously monitor your energy, you can start making choices that help elevate it. Practices such as meditation, mindfulness, visualization, and deep breathing can help you become more aware of your emotional state and guide you in shifting it when necessary. When you feel your energy dip into negativity, you can use these techniques to recalibrate and bring yourself back into alignment with your higher self. One of the most powerful practices for raising your energy is to engage in acts of kindness, generosity, and love. When you give, when you act from a place of unconditional love, your energy vibrates at a higher frequency. These acts of kindness may seem small, but they create a ripple effect. The energy you put into the world doesn't just stay with you, it spreads to others. When you smile at someone, offer a kind word, or help someone in need, you're not just lifting the energy of the person you're interacting with, you're also lifting your own energy. The more you engage in positive, heart-centered actions, the more you create an energetic flow that draws positive energy back to you. Your energy is a reflection of who you are, but it's also the force that creates who you become. By consciously cultivating positive energy, by focusing on thoughts and emotions that elevate you, you change your reality. You stop being a passive observer of life and begin to become the active creator of your experiences.
One of the most powerful truths you can embrace in life is that your reality is a direct reflection of your inner world. This concept is not just philosophical or spiritual. It is grounded in science. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape the lens through which you perceive the world.
This lens determines the experiences, people, and circumstances you attract. Essentially, your internal state is like a magnet for your external reality. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you see yourself and the world around you. This process is one of transformation, but it starts with understanding that your outer world is a mirror for your inner world. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a projector. This projector casts a reality based on the images, your thoughts, emotions, beliefs it is given. If the images are negative, filled with doubt, fear, or limitation, the movie that plays on the screen of your life will also be negative. But if the images you feed your mind are filled with positivity, abundance, love, and possibility, the movie of your life begins to change. The reality you experience becomes a reflection of your inner state. This means that if you find yourself constantly attracting negative experiences, you must look inward. What beliefs are you holding on to? What is the underlying story you are telling yourself? If you believe that the world is a dangerous place full of people who will hurt you or take advantage of you, that belief will shape how you interact with the world. It will influence the decisions you make, the people you trust, and the opportunities you pursue. The key here is that you are creating your own experience. You may not have control over the actions of others or the circumstances around you, but you do have control over how you respond and what you believe. This realization gives you incredible power. If you don't like the reality you're living, you can change the internal narrative that is creating it. This is where the true power of belief comes into play. Your beliefs are the operating system of your mind. They shape your actions, emotions, and perceptions. If you change your beliefs, you change the program that runs your life. But this is not always easy because beliefs are deeply ingrained. Many of us have spent years or even decades believing certain things about ourselves, the world, and our potential. These beliefs feel like the truth because they have been repeated so many times in our minds. However, these beliefs are not fixed. They can be altered, upgraded, and replaced with beliefs that empower us to create a new reality. The process of shifting your beliefs begins with awareness. You must first identify the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. These might be beliefs about money, relationships, health, or success. They are the stories you've been telling yourself about why things can't change or why you are not capable. Once you identify these beliefs, you can begin the process of replacing them with more empowering thoughts. This doesn't happen overnight, and it takes consistent practice. But every time you challenge a limiting belief and replace it with a positive, empowering one, you are rewiring your brain and shifting your energy. But it's not just enough to believe in the possibility of change. You must also feel it. Thoughts alone are not enough. The emotional charge behind those thoughts is what drives them to become reality. The more you feel the emotions of your desired outcome, whether that's joy, gratitude, love, or excitement, the more you activate the energy that will create that outcome. Emotions are the fuel that powers your thoughts. When you think positive thoughts but also feel the corresponding positive emotions, you are amplifying the signal you are sending to the universe. This is why gratitude is such a powerful practice. It combines positive thinking with an elevated emotional state, creating a magnetic force that attracts abundance and joy into your life. As you begin to change your beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, you will start to notice shifts in your external reality. People will begin to treat you differently. Opportunities will appear where there once seemed to be none. You will attract new experiences, relationships, and circumstances that match the new frequency you are putting out into the world. This is not magic. This is science. It's the law of attraction, the idea that like attracts like. When you align your internal state with the external reality you desire, the universe responds by matching that vibration. However, this process requires patience and consistency. The outer world will not always change immediately, and there will be times when the old limiting beliefs try to resurface. This is completely normal. But when you stay focused on the new belief system you are creating, you build momentum. Over time, the new beliefs will become automatic, and your reality will continue to shift in alignment with your desires. One of the most important things to remember in this process is that you are not a passive observer of your life. You are an active participant in the creation of your reality. Power is in your hand. By changing your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, you are changing the frequency you are putting out into the world, and the universe will respond accordingly. No one else is in charge of your life except you. You are the author of your own story, and you have the power to rewrite it at any time. The reality you experience is not random. It is a direct reflection of your internal state. If you want to change your life, change the way you think, feel, and believe. Your inner world is the key to unlocking the life you desire. When you realize that your external reality is simply a mirror of your internal state, you take full responsibility for your life. And with that responsibility comes the incredible power to create the reality you truly want. The idea that your past does not have to define your future is both liberating and transformative. It is a reminder that you are not a prisoner of your history. You are the creator of your destiny. We often become so attached to the stories we tell ourselves about who we are based on what has happened to us in the past. These stories shape our identity and influence the choices we make. But the truth is that the past is nothing more than a series of events, and those events are not the final word on who you are or who you are becoming. The future is unwritten, and you have the power to shape it in any way you choose. One of the most powerful ways to break free from the limitations of your past is to understand that your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are the drivers of your future. If you constantly refer to your past as the reason why you can't change or achieve something, you are giving that past the power to hold you back. The stories you have about your past, whether they are about trauma, failure, or missed opportunities, are just that, stories. They are not the truth of who you are. The truth is that you have the ability to create a new story, one that is aligned with the person you want to become and the life you want to live. This is not to say that the past doesn't matter or that it didn't shape who you are. Of course, the experiences you've had have influenced your personality, your beliefs, and your perceptions of the world. But they do not have to define the choices you make moving forward. You are not a slave to your past. You are not bound to repeat the same mistakes or to stay stuck in old patterns. The moment you choose to let go of the past and forgive yourself for any mistakes, regrets, or wounds, you free yourself to create a new path forward. The process of letting go of the past is not always easy. It can be challenging to release old wounds, especially if they are deeply embedded in your emotional and psychological makeup. But it is essential for your growth and your ability to move forward. Holding on to the past is like carrying a heavy burden with you wherever you go. It keeps you anchored to a time and place that no longer serves you. Every time you think about the past with anger, resentment, or regret, you are emotionally reliving those events. And when you emotionally relive the past, you unconsciously repeat the same patterns, attracting similar situations and outcomes into your life. To break free from this cycle, you must first acknowledge that the past is over. You cannot change what has already happened, but you can change how you perceive it and how you allow it to influence your present and future. This is where the concept of forgiveness comes in. Not necessarily for the people who may have wronged you, but for yourself. Forgiveness is about releasing the emotional charge that binds you to the past. It is about freeing yourself from the grip of past pain so that you can fully embrace the present moment and the future that lies ahead. Once you release the emotional weight of the past, you create the space to step into a new version of yourself. This new version is not defined by what has happened to you, but by who you choose to become. And the person you choose to become is not limited by your past. You are free to reinvent yourself, to start fresh, to make new choices that align with your deepest desires and highest potential. In order to create a future that is different from your past, you must begin by changing your thoughts and beliefs. The future is shaped by the thoughts you think today. If you continue to think the same thoughts you've always thought, you will continue to get the same results. But if you change your thoughts, you change your energy, and that energy begins to attract new experiences. This process requires consistency and commitment. Every time you catch yourself thinking about the past or identifying with it, you must choose to shift your focus to the future you want to create. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools you can use to create this shift. When you visualize your ideal future, you are essentially programming your brain to align with that vision. The more you immerse yourself in the feeling of having already achieved your goals, the more your brain begins to create new neural pathways that support that reality. Over time, your subconscious mind begins to believe that this new future is possible, and it will start to guide you toward it. This is why people who consistently practice visualization and focus on their desired outcome often see those outcomes manifest in their lives. Another important aspect of creating a new future is taking action. While thoughts and emotions are powerful, they must be backed by action in order to create tangible results. The actions you take today will determine the course of your future. Even small steps, when taken consistently, can create massive change over time. Every time you make a decision that aligns with your future vision, you reinforce that vision and take one more step closer to it. The key is to stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. Start now with whatever you have and trust that the universe will support you in your efforts. As you begin to create a new future, you will notice that the people around you, the circumstances in your life, and the opportunities that come your way will begin to shift as well. This is because when you change your energy and your actions, you start to attract new energy and new opportunities. You will no longer be stuck in the same cycles, and you will no longer be a prisoner of your past. Instead, you will be creating a future that is aligned with your true potential, one that reflects who you are becoming rather than who you once were. The past is simply a reference point, a place of learning and growth, but it is not the determinant of your future. You are not destined to repeat the same patterns or to be held back by past failures. You have the power to create a new future, and that future begins with the choices you make today. The past is behind you. What matters now is the present moment, the energy you bring to it, and the future you are choosing to create.